Greetings, kindred spirits. And for those who are new, I welcome you too. I want to start off by thanking you so much for taking time out in your busy day to review what I bring to give. I am so grateful and thankful. If you decide to share this information and find the information in my videos valuable, I want to thank you for that. Or just even showing me how much you like it by giving me a thumbs up and or subscribing. Or if not, if you find this information valuable, go ahead and thumbs up the video, subscribe to my channel by clicking on the subscribe button below in red and white, and or leaving me some comments or questions in the comment section below. If you prefer, you rather contact me in private, my contact information will be in the description and at the end of this video. So let's get into it. So I want to talk about healing because it's so important before you journey out towards your endeavors. I realize this when people who journey out and become famous, become rich, but yet something they realize once they reach their peak, they don't know how to deal with it, and they run into walls. Not everyone, but there are some people that I've noticed. Sorry, the wind is blowing, so I move my blinds. But I really want to delve into the healing process and how important it is to heal. Now, a healing journey is a lifelong process because every day along the way, there's something new we find out about ourselves, something that reveals itself to us. And even though it reveals itself to us, not necessarily at that point we're going to take advantage of it. Sometimes we see these things or hear these things or interact with certain things, matters or situation, whatever it may be, is basically planting the seed and it begins to grow. So we may not be ready for it at that moment, but yet know that when it's time to heal, when it's time for change in our lives, we ourselves have to be ready. And when we're ready, we make the effort to change what it is we don't want anymore in our life. We're willing to work on our shadow selves. We're ready to institute changes in our lifestyle, how we communicate, in our personalities, how we think and how we feel, how we communicate, and in our environment, and make efforts to make changes within our community as well. So I come to you today to let you know, based on some of my experience, my research, and my endeavors. I'm not here to make you think like me. I just want you to think. I want you to understand something too about me, is that I'm not this perfect person. And I've been through things. I may not have been through the muck and mire deep underground like some of you. So I may not be able to relate to every single thing, every single moment, the way you've experienced it. But I come giving you the courage to overstand not just the courage, but the confidence and the strength to know that no matter what you're going through, no matter how hard it is, it's got to be that you are ready to pull yourself up out of it. What strength you have to bring yourself out of that. Excuse me. And the reason why you're chosen or you have to go through such terrible times is to be able to relate to the person who's gone through a similar life as you, or who is going through what you have been through. And knowing that what you've been through is still a process of healing. It's still being tested throughout your life to make sure you don't go back to that. You don't fall weak just because these thoughts or memories haunt you. They haunt your mind and your heart. But just know that the only way you can relive those incidents is through your memories and emotions. Just know that even though these memories are there and those feelings are there, doesn't necessarily mean that you are there. You feel me? Because what is in the past is not here in the present. And the reason why I'm speaking on this is because I go through that, you know. My mind takes me back, and when my mind takes me back to those days, not only the memories or the thoughts that I remember, but those feelings come back. And I have to now remind myself, Anita, we're not there. We're not there. Bring it back, bring it back. And there were things that I used to hear, like motivational speakers and people giving me stuff to read and check out. And I was just like, this stuff is so corny. I'm just like, I'm not feeling this stuff. But at some point in time, some just said, let me just try it. You know, I was told to just repeat some affirmations. And I'm just like, I don't even feel it. I'm not even feeling it, because it really felt like BS to me. Like it wasn't making me feel good, but that was just this and this, because what you say here, sometimes you feel it here, and sometimes what you're feeling here, you don't think is logical here. But then I just said, I have to find a time where I can really be ready to make this work. And sometimes just the moment of you saying some affirmation, you're like, ugh. But towards the end, you're like, okay, this is okay. It's just, and it's a process. It's a process because even to this day, like negative thoughts, they still haunt me. But sometimes I think like, you have enemies, people who don't want the best for you, who think bad about you, who look down on you, talk mess about you. You're picking up on their energies. So sometimes it's still, because you don't know how to protect yourself yet, you're picking up on their thoughts and their feelings about you. So the only way to protect you first is to, when you get those thoughts, do your best to create some activity for yourself to take your mind off those thoughts or to substitute those thoughts for something else. And I tell you, at first you might think it's not the easiest thing to do. You might be like, dang, it's hard, I can't. But I learned over a period of time, the more you keep saying I can't and it's hard, you are programming your mind just through your words, what you're expressing. I realized that's some powerful stuff. That's powerful drugs. Stuff, how you think about yourself. And the fact that you're expressing it out of your mouth is like you're confirming and putting a stamp, a patent on, oh, this hardness and this campness is going to stay with me. And even your thoughts, you know what I'm saying? I know. Sometimes I slip up, but just know you're going to slip up because you've made it a habit of thinking and feeling one way for so long that you even wonder and doubt yourself that you can make a change. So what you first have to focus on is tapping into your authenticity. And what is your authenticity? It's that spirit self, not your religious self. I'm not talking about going to a building and where you worship, because we were spiritual beings before we found these bodies, before we sent an invitation to the wombs and the sperm sacs of our fathers and decided to get here. Just because, you know, a lot of times, you know, we say, there are people that say we chose, you know, we didn't choose to be here. Yes, we did. Yes, we did. For if we're living in a time when certain beings are coming back, certain ancestors are coming back, you have to choose. You have to choose your lesson and you have to choose your battles. So some of you chose your parent, well, not some of you, we all chose our parents so we can get you to get our lessons so that we may prepare for our purpose and mission. So don't believe that, oh, this child didn't choose to be here. Yes, they did. Because if they didn't want to be here, they would have terminated the pregnancy. Or some of them would have been born lifeless. They would have completed that mission. All they needed was to feel what it was like to be in the womb. And they decided, oh, out here, the stuff that's going on outside of the womb. Oh, no. Let's find us some other. This is just too much. Most High, spirit, supernatural forces of nature, spirit guides, ancient benevolent ancestors, and ascended master. No, put me in another family. I might forget to I might surely can't come up out of the ignorant spell, the spell of forgetfulness. I may not be able to tap into my divine born into this family. But just realize, no matter how you got here, you're here now. And there is a choice you have to make. And in those choices, the only obligation you have is to yourself, not to no one else, not to your parents. You don't owe them nothing. You just use their vessels. And just know that even though you may have to live under their house, their roof, in their home, and you're told to follow these rules, because I did it when I was younger, you know, yeah. And in the back of my mind is, I can't wait till I move out. And when I move out, I'm going to be free to think and feel the way I want. And even though I know I have to live in the world where there's still other rules, I'm going to believe what I want to believe. I'm going to be obligated to me. And just know that when you have children, you have a responsibility to nurture them and give them what they need for the time being until they are old enough to move away. But you're not even obligated to them once they become an adults. Once they decide, now when they become an adult, it's the time they decide they're going to up and leave your home. And when they leave your home, whether on good terms or bad terms, just know you're not obligated. You only obligate yourself to continue to be responsible. And it's okay if you want to still be there for your children as adults. You know, it's not to say you're going to break that bond. You're still going to love them, but you don't want to also cripple them through spoiling them to the point where they lose their way on their path because they're looking to you to do everything for them. Yeah, there's parts of us that want to do that. We want to spoil our children, but spoil the child. What's that saying? It's best to bend the rod than to spoil a child. You have to create a balance with that. It's okay to have the respect and love of your child. And sometimes you have to put your foot down. Doesn't necessarily mean you're taking a rod and beating the hell out of them. Abuse. And sometimes it's hard to understand how to discipline based on how you were disciplined. Because sometimes you don't know what you're giving birth to. And that's a fact. You gotta, if you don't know what you're laying down with, sometimes you don't know what's gonna come through. Okay? Sometimes you don't realize some people can fake it until they make it. They'll fake it until they make it into the marriage. Get pregnant and then show their true colors after the child is born. And then, you know, it's like you betting on what type of child has been born. But again, let's take it back. So I had to go through all of that just so you understand what comes with your authenticity. You're not obligated. Stop obligating yourself to this world and obligate yourself to you, because at the end of your life, you're responsible for whether or not you did what you were supposed to do in this life, not feeling regret. You know, and I, honestly, as I'm saying this, you know, because I be thinking like, Anita, are we doing what we supposed to do, girl? Are we doing it? I just want to make sure, you know, I ain't gonna tell y'all too much of my business. Y'all don't even know all that. God, late. But anyway, my soul wrestles with what I think and how I feel. Because the problems of being your authentic self, your distraction with so many distractions in this world, trends and stuff, distracting you from being who you are. You're like, ooh, you know, look what everybody else is doing. And you think, but dang, why they doing this and I'm not? Because I go through that. I'd be like, But now, you know, there's just some things, you know, some things is like, I've gotten past it, you know, if it's, it ain't happened this long. So, you know, hey, you just become patient if it's meant. But then too, you also observing what it's doing to people, how they're sometimes feel like, oh, them having all these expensive things, these cars and stuff, it makes you think, what if we was to lose that? You think about people who live in villages and who's living off of, or who's living from tilling and towing, what is it, towing? Of farming from the ground, who's, you know what I'm saying, hands on. You know, I be thinking about them people like they are more rich because they got the skills and the stamina, the energy to even put into gardening, farming, and then using handmade stuff and not having a blender to do it, to grind up stuff for them, a stove to cook on where they have to go outside and make a fire to cook. I respect them more. You know, having to kill an animal I kind of wrestle with that. And, I'm like, I don't want to kill them. Look how they looking at me, the little chicken, they so cute. Or, I don't want to do that. I don't want to take their little babies. I mean, I know it might sound crazy, but these are some of the things, I wrestle with within me, I mean, I have been homeless many of times. I have. But I've been homeless here in the United States. And I don't feel like my ancestors came from Africa. My family are indigenous to this land by way of through my mother. So as women, we relate and tap in on a physical realm through our ancestry line on the female side, and the men will be able to tap into their father side and ancestry side. You know what I'm saying? They tap into the mentality, the emotions of that side. Does not mean that there's no connection with your mother's side, because there are some things that comes through. It's just that sometimes in order for me to understand why me as a woman that go through things, I have to look back and genetically, as far as women and what women genetically through the DNA is capable of doing, we have to look towards our female donors or female ancestry line. You feel me? If you don't feel me, please ask the question or comment below so that I can come back and make it more clear. So yeah, so sometimes we can't take off the mask of fakeness because we so caught up with the distractions in this world. And we judge others. And we got to really, really stop judging other people, even those who do us wrong, because they have to go through their lessons. I've done people wrong, not intentionally. Sometimes it just happened and I learned the lesson then that I did somebody wrong. And sometimes you may not get a chance to apologize to them. So you just got to be forgiving of yourself for you did not know. And if you might feel this guiltness, you go through a inner hell just knowing that if you're not really a bad person who intentionally try to hurt people, you're going to feel yourself going through a hell, a dark night of the soul, until you heal that part of you and you know not to partake and do the action that you did to cause hurt or harm to another person. You correct that. So know people, when people do wrong to you, sometimes they may not know. And even if they do it intentionally, they're going to have their karma. Whether they learn through it or not, you never know. But, we have to be accepting of the characters that people play when they're here in this suit, in this avatar. For this avatar is connected. The avatar and your soul is connected to the stars. So the time that you were born and where you were born, those energies when you were born, that comes from other planet or other star system, because these are things that you plan for your birth when you want to come through, so that certain energies are hitting the planet at that time. When you were born, you take on certain personalities to make sure that what you have in line for your journey here in this dimension, you're able to get the lessons you need and build up the skills. And if you lived other lifetimes, you bring those energies also from those other dimensions. So you can bring them all together and bring it here to complete your mission and purpose to carry out whatever it is you need. So you have the power to do whatever it is you need to do, even if that power is the power of love, to be able to connect with your twin flame, twin soul, soulmate, or whoever, just to ground and anchor in the power of love. And everybody has a different purpose. It might not necessarily be you come here to be a superhero and fight dragons and big armies. Okay. So what did I do to learn more about me? I used some untraditional stuff. Yeah, my life started with growing up in a family who was Christian, and deciding that that didn't satisfy me because of some of the things that I went through that made me realize, okay, Christianity isn't it for me. And that's okay. Some of you may believe, oh, God, Jesus is the truth and the light. Maybe for you, so stop putting that on other people because you think the whole world is supposed to be Christian, or the whole world is supposed to be Muslim, or the whole world is supposed to be Hindu, or whatever religion it is. I don't want religion, period. Because for me, it put too many rules and crap upon you. If anything, I have my own rules for myself, my own routines and rituals that I want to abide by, that I feel so good about because I'm listening to my soul, the spirit within. I'm tapping into my own authenticity. I'm making my rules that I feel comfortable with living by. In the same breath, I respect who you are, your own authenticity and your rules. And then as a group, we agree on rules to live by within a community. So in the midst of elevating and evolving, I basically, what I've just expressed to you, I've changed my lifestyle. I no longer feel a need to go to church or to a mosque because my journey has brought me here. The things that I've been through, the things or what nature have opened up and revealed to me, and the way I feel I am guided. Whether you think I'm being guided by something bad or not, that's really up to me because we all have the balance of energies that live within us, upon us, around us, within us, called positive and negative energy. So we have the will to decide, meaning we have the strength, the power to decide what's good for us and what's bad for us. I can't decide that for you. I can't change that for you. That's why I can't make you think like me. I'm just here to express things I've been through and ideas and creative ventures that I've explored just to give you some ideas of things to utilize for yourself. If I'm here to heal, I'm here to help you heal your way of thinking about you. I am here to heal me and get rid of the static and distortions that's trying to sway me away from me. Because my soul, which is connected to the Most High, spirit guides, supernatural forces of nature, my ancestors and ascended masters, they are relying and hoping that I will make the best decisions for my soul and allow this soul that's connected to all to experience it in a way that feels right for me. Okay? So the only way I can get off of the path of living my life the way I want to live is if I allow someone to tell me, girl, you're not supposed to be eating like that. Well, if I'm not supposed to be eating like that, shouldn't I be listening to my own dang body? And sometimes we have to bypass what other people say even though it may be right, until we feel it and we realize it. But we gotta hope it's not too late. But we know that we're ready to make the changes in our lifestyle. So we do something, and we just wait for the powers of the universe, our the supernatural forces of nature, spirit guides, our higher being, our benevolent ancestors and ascended masters to guide us, whichever ones you choose to call on or acknowledge, or all of them. Okay. Oops. Sorry about that. Hold on for a second. My apologies, So anywho, we just have to be mindful of our own mind. Be mindful of minding your own mind. Take care of your own business first. Take the needle out of your eye before you decide to take a needle out of somebody else's eye. Because why are you going to have a needle in your eye and you're going to help somebody take a needle out of their eye and you still got it in yours? You know what I'm saying? So work on you first. Doesn't necessarily mean that you have to have your healing completed before you can make a move. You can start your journey while you're healing, because healing is a lifelong process. You're like, what? For real? I know, because that's how I'm like, what? You mean to tell me I'm never gonna heal? Like, golly, I thought I had to be completely healed. You don't know what life has for you. Because even though you want to take control of your life and institute certain strategies to get you to from point A to B, from point B to C, to point D to E, you don't know what tests are going to come at you and how it might trigger you or traumatize you. For these triggers, the traumas that you experience in life is basically traumas to help awaken you to your spiritual path, to remembering who you truly are. Our purpose is to remember who we truly are. We all different. We all have a different mission in life and where we're going or what we need to do. We're all meant to learn lessons. No matter what position we're in, if we're playing, no matter who we are on the chessboard. All the way down to the pawns. So another thing that I had to learn is to, and I'm still learning, how to express certain things, because certain things that I endured as a child made me feel like I shouldn't express myself. And not just even as a child, sometimes even certain relationships or people I came in contact with made me feel bad for speaking up. I remember being in school, loving to do homework and stuff and wanting to share and just doing extra stuff and wanting to come and share it at school, and being made, not just made fun, but bullied because I enjoyed doing extra work, but the teacher would make them do extra work. Also, would just give them assignments, and then they get mad at me. Well, if you don't want to do the extra assignment, then you need to go to the teacher. No, but I ain't got nothing to do. If I influenced the teacher, I wasn't trying to influence her to give y'all extra work. It was just stuff that I wanted to do and share. So if you're one of them children and you're getting bullied, you need to let the teacher know. Let your mama and daddy know, whoever is your guardian, you let them know. Don't let people continue to bully you because you enjoy doing what you love to do, and that's learn. or teach. So I'm 50 years old now, about to be 51 this year. Y'all know I'm like this. But anyway, yes. I still deal with that, with people who, my children even sometimes telling me what I should and should not be doing, how I'm supposed to run my household. It happens. As adults, if you're young watching this, as adults, you deal with pressure, whether if it's not from your peers, you deal with it from family. But you got to remember, you're obligated to you and no one else. Your family ain't gonna answer for you. If you're asked, the judgment angel or the judgment spirit, whatever your situation might be when you leave this body or this dimension or what have you, did you complete your did you complete your learning over there in that dimension? You did. Well, I'm gonna put you with this family so you can go back and be obligated to you. So it is okay to express yourself, however. Communicate. You may have to cut people off. I know. You might have to cut them off and be like, I love you, but I love you from a distance. And when I do see you, I'll casually, respectfully speak to you. Hey, how you doing? And feel good about it. But I also be feeling good about it that I don't have to go home with them. I don't have to deal with them on a day-to-day basis. But if they try to force themselves into my life, all I can do is give them the benefit of the doubt. But I'm going to pay attention to if a red flag comes up and I'm like, I shouldn't have been talking to them anyway, because they ain't changed. They still trying to run my life and trying to force their energy on me and weigh me down. So I end up feeling depressed and confused and not knowing what to do. So just know what the energies do. Okay. So then you have to even acknowledge the evolution and changes that goes on in your environment and how to become more involved in your community. If you want to be involved in your community, you know what I'm saying? Connect with people like yourself, like-minded, like-hearted people. And don't worry, for a time and a bit, you might feel lonely because you've had to cut some people off, but just know that if you're working on you, give it time for you to connect with those who are like-minded. Just make sure you're getting your house in order. Your temple, this is your temple, not a physical temple or church you got to go to and give money to somebody else and make them rich off your hard earnings. Some of y'all don't realize y'all being food. You know what I'm talking about? Because if it's meant for you to make a living through earnings from other people, you will do it in a way that's not deceitful and leading people off their path, jeopardizing their soul's purpose and mission in life. All right. All of this entails breaking patterns. Sometimes, I'm in the insurance business. I am a licensed insurance agent, and in my soul, that might just be me doing that, because I find a purpose in, realizing something that I learned about life insurance policies. I used to think that having a life insurance policy you only collect after somebody dies. So I have learned that you don't have to wait until you're dead. that the reason why it's called permanent life insurance or whole life insurance is to be utilized throughout your whole life. It's an I don't want to say it's an investment. Let me take that back. But you can invest in yourself. I also learned that the IRS cannot touch your money once you have one of those. You can place your money in a legit legal manner, okay? But I'm not here to sell y'all insurance. I basically am bringing that up because, at one point, I never wanted to get involved in a career opportunity to deceive other people. I always want to find ways to help other people from my heart. So for the time being, I might have to do something like sell insurance temporarily until I really get to where I want to be. And that's really seriously open up my heart, soul, and mind to answering your questions and giving you guidance without making you think like me. Telling you got to do it like me. And if I get to that point and I hear myself doing it, because sometimes I slip up, I'll be like, oh, hold on, no, I don't want you to do it like me. Always do it like you. And also know that in life, in your community, you may have haters. What B103 in Atlanta radio station said, make your haters your motivators, because if you got haters, then just know you're doing what you need to do. Because they're probably hating because they don't realize that what you're doing good for you can also do good for them. But right now, what you're doing good for you kind of feel like BS to them. And they got to wake up in their own time, in their own divine time, and to realize, well, dang, what Anita was doing was right all this time. And I've been hating on her. I am so sorry. And I can forgive you for that. You know what I'm saying? Anyway. All right, yeah, I gotta go, because I got to do. Somebody call me. They probably left me a message. Ain't no telling. But anyway, we finna make it do what it do. And I wish the best for you. I right now I'm getting this feeling of doubt trying to step in. And I'm telling you, all of a sudden I got this feeling of doubt. But we're not going to let doubt have its way with me. Okay? So I'm not going to ask nobody to pray for me. Remember, pray for yourself. Utilize some meditation and listen out. Listen with your heart, your intuitive. Pay attention to the signs, symbols, and synchronicity that's trying to influence you to go a certain way. And the best way to hear your intuitive knowing is that first. Sometimes it's real quick. It'll come to you so quick. You be like, and then doubt step in. So let's, you know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about? Doubt step in. But we ain't gonna let it enter in. We show life. Anyway, I gotta go. Bye. Hi, my name is AnitaYarbrough, and I am your holistic healing life coach and counselor. I bring to you today my signature programs based on healing transformations that align purpose. My first signature program, self-authentication based healing. This paradigm shifting and transformative based program is designed to share life experiences due to the changing times we're in to assert your self-authenticating willpower. In this program, you will learn the importance of healing to help lead the way towards understanding a new age mindset that promotes creative, holistic living for unlocking your purpose. Transform and align with your purpose in any area you choose. Within these changing times, by trying a new approach to tasks and or activities to gain courage and confidence. Feel free to accept the changes in the world and experience the new, real you without judgment from yourself and others. Learn to accept uncontrollable circumstances. Let go of the past and activate a new you. Overcome blockages on your way towards your newfound freedom after attending this life-changing presentation. After this program, you will be able to learn the difference between using logic and intuition, understand how your belief systems influence your authenticity. Learn the importance of balancing your light and dark psyche. Use mental and emotional coping techniques to transcend traumas and pain to start the healing process. Gaining self-acceptance to heal through self-talk and expression. My second signature program is lifestyle-based healing. This life-building and knowledge-based program is designed to help you succeed in the next phase of transformational growth during these changing times to enhance your development. In this session, you will learn how to tap into your natural survival resources and following the intuitive influences that open your eyes to new pathways of living, achieve greater results, and supercharge your mission by creating a new lifestyle. You will come to understand how to discipline your body, your mind, and spirit to prepare the unexpected and expected changes in your life, inside and out. Inspire others to do the same. Become efficient and improve functionality after this enlightening presentation. After this program, you will be able to learn what your limits are towards change, learn how to replace unwanted habits with better practices, identify your stress triggers and traumas to make changes, and self-heal. Learn about inner and outside influences that affect your lifestyle. Understand how good health practices establishes great wealth to enhance a certain lifestyle. Learn the importance of your survival and creating your new life and what it takes to sustain a new lifestyle. Expose your toxicities before incorporating new lifestyle changes. Now, this third signature program is my communication-based healing. This mind-enriching session will teach you how to express and communicate your thoughts and feelings. Demonstrate many ways to communicate your subconscious mind to gain control of your life. The strategies in this portion of the program will fine-tune your communication skills within these changing times by using your childlike imagination to promote healing and find your confidence to better express yourself. Learn how to analyze the communication style of others, which better helps with understanding how to communicate. So after this presentation, you will be able to achieve a life of mastery that is limitless. So after this program, you will be able to learn to listen to your true voice, to break your own hypnotic spell, learn importance of self-talk, creatively express your imagination to welcome in the healing process, learn and understand different communication styles, find out how to communicate commands to your subconscious mind to create change. Now, this last signature program is community-based healing. This approach into the community dynamics during these times of change will alter your reality to identify patterns in situations and know when to seek solutions. Learn the positives and negatives of comparisons and judgments that are used within your environment or community. Learn tactics to break away from the trends within your environment and community that are presently not realized as mind control tools. Learn manifestations for your ideal environment or community, which can influence and become impressionable to others. Before this presentation ends, it will empower your every move. So after this program, you will be able to understand how to manifest your needs and wants, recognizing patterns that will create solutions for a better change, learn how to recognize individuals of bad or good influence in your space, understand how making peace with yourself can become a masterpiece for an ideal community, create better habits and practices that will help you attain the peace you so desire, and design and create a space that cannot be compared to others. I would like to thank you for taking time out in your busy day and joining me or sitting with me in learning more about my signature programs. As I always tell others, I am not here to make you think like me. I just want you to think. Again, thank you and have a great rest of your day.